document. You have it there. We would never lie. Here, would you like us to take a step away? That wasn't my decision. I understand what you're saying, but after we saw the 27th district, I think we see highlighted how difficult it is to do that. I regret that, but this is a very diverse slate. It represents 3 of the 4 candidates for president, and those 3 that agreed to work together, and those that, for instance, who have not misrepresented, who's supporting them in what they're doing. Coming from an area where they have literally attempted to trick people, I hope that stands out as an example of how important voting for this slate is. I believe that is a very important thing.
Okay, so I understand the point behind this slate. You know, I'm new to the whole political process, so I don't even know what a slate is. But
would you speak up? Some of us can't hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't even know what kind of.
Okay, it's recommendations. I'll explain. I apologize. I jumped ahead.
Yeah, dumb it down for us.
I apologize. So you are about to elect delegates to the state convention.
Right.
And who that is depends on your votes. Now, most districts don't have a majority for any of one of the 3 major candidates for president. None of them have majorities. So we looked at that and we said, why don't we create one group of people that represents all 3 campaigns, representatives from every 3 campaigns, and we'll put them on a list and we'll ask all 3 campaigns' delegates, you, to vote for them. So you're about to elect 35 people to represent this legislative district at the state convention. 35? Oh, 31. Excuse me. Thank you. You're about, this is the exact correct number, just so you know. So when we typed this up, we got that right. So you're about to elect these delegates to the state convention. We're asking you to vote for these people. There are Romney people, Gingrich people, and Santorum people on the list.
How were they chosen?
They were chosen based on, we talked to each campaign, we talked to local Republicans who knew them, and we got advice from them.
A lot of us didn't have a clue. We've heard of none of these people.
I understand. So, most of these folks are people who have volunteered on campaigns, who have worked in fair booths, been a PCO. They're folks who've put in time on the party. And so I'm going to be honest with you, one of my great regrets is a lot of people are here for the first time. Yes. And one of the disadvantages of doing it this way is that new people, it's harder for us to include you. And I apologize for that. But we didn't do this until we saw 3 legislative districts get taken over in King County by the Ron Paul folks. And we saw how they were willing to behave. So at that moment, we decided we had to be a bit more careful, and this represents that commitment of being more careful. And I'm being pretty blunt with you guys. I'm being honest about all the pluses and cons. And so
well, just let me clarify then. I don't know the particulars about what happened in King County.
Why does that matter to us?
We did. That's where this came from.
It does. I don't want to send someone up there who doesn't support anything I believe in.
Well,
are you supporting Santorum, Gingrich, or
no?
Romney?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
It's not everyone.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, at some point in the state convention, are they going to pick how many candidates one? Are they going to pick Santorum or Romney or
there will be probably another slate like this sent to the national level.
Okay, but here's what I'm wondering. How do we know? Okay, tell me what these the people on this list. What are their propensities? What are they going to want to do?
Every one of them is going to give you a 1-minute speech today.
How are they going to tell? How are they going to? You know, in my mind, the issue here is we need to defeat Obama. Okay?
Correct.
And it needs to be somewhat of a pragmatic decision.
Yes, sir.
And it needs to be one behind which all of us can stand.
Yes.
So to me, it's very important to know what these people are
what they represent.
Yeah,
so
what do they represent?
Let me describe.
How are we going to know?
So
you know
first, every single person here, you're going to vote on independently. I can't make you vote the slate. I'm asking you to, because I believe it's in the best interest of the party. Second, all of them were picked because of their involvement in the county party campaigns. They're people who put in a lot of time. And so
time doesn't necessarily mean what your principles are.
all of them are going to give you a speech, and I encourage you to weigh them all individually.
Okay.
So, but everyone you voted for, even without the slate, this is just additional information for you. You would have voted based on a 1-minute speech anyhow. So all I'm giving you is a little additional piece of information, and I'm asking you, on behalf of the Romney campaign, to vote for it. It is in the interest of the state convention. So you remember that tough vote we just took on the rules, and how we were able to prevail 2-1 in that vote, right? If that vote had failed, this county convention would be very different right now. And candidly, I do not think it would be better. This is the exact same votes they'll be taking at the state convention. And if people who are intent on disruption are elected to the state convention, then those votes will fail. And that state convention will be very disruptive, and it'll get in the national news, and there will be terrible consequences for our state and our state party.
Is that why that individual walked out after his vote failed?
I do not, perhaps.
Because he did walk out.
Can I make a comment?
I can't speak to that
The
man's
state
motives.
convention 4 years ago, I wasn't there, but the news was there. And the Ron Paul people protested and strung things out. And they had to adjourn well after they were scheduled to, well after they had the convention center
Right.
scheduled. Because the Ron people were stringing things out, and that's their strategy, is to string things out so that the last ones left, and they vote themselves to the convention.
I thought that was because the delegation walked out.
I went to my first convention when I was 14 years old. And
Yeah,
I
halfway
was
through
a
the
delegate
convention,
at
they just
18.
walked out of the building.
Well,
I love our
wanna stop
party
that.
very much. And we rarely see things like this happen. So most years, we're not forced to do this. But this year, we have been forced to do this because of the savagery of the opposition we're facing. And so that's a pretty strong phrase. But if you had seen what it is like when they prevail and they take control, it is very bad. And so I have to go speak to another district. I apologize for rushing this on you.
Are we choosing just delegates or alternates?
You'll check delegates and alternates, both. We created a slate for both. All right.
So, do we get to hear? Do we get to hear from these
You
people?
will hear from everyone. Everyone gets to give you a speech. Whatever the rules want. There are others from
They'll give you a printed map with a number on it. You can put the guy's number.